Okay. Let's see how this is going to work. Hopefully that does not fall over because it's going to be loud if it does. Welcome. Fruit tea, so good. Hello, Lisa. Thank you for dropping in. So sorry for all the confusion. Like sometimes Instagram can support it and sometimes it can't. And the frequencies of the internet have been like just even the last 2 days have been kind of hit or miss for me. So I'm really grateful to you and others that are patient and supporting as we land. Thank you, beautiful. Love you so much. So grateful. Always so grateful for the support. Welcome. Yeah, sometimes it sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I it's so grateful for that mirror. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think that it's also why for us on Instagram, we were trying to send messages the other day and it wasn't letting us send messages because of the power of the connection. It was like, yeah, no, we can't receive this right now. It's too high. Welcome, Nova. Hi. Oh, hi, Betsy. Welcome, beautiful. I love the name. Nova Luminary. So beautiful. So beautiful. 1 second. I've got to do the community moderation here. Because if not, it's going to get a bit crazy. So there we go. Just get rid of some of the chaos and clutter that wants to come in the comments. So yeah, I am so grateful. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for your patience. I am always so grateful for it. And Instagram was definitely not able to receive our coming together. There's too much power here. Welcome, Yvonne. Hello, beautiful. Thank you for dropping in. You guys might, oh wait, okay. I was gonna say you might hear a big truck starting up in a minute, but I forgot. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. It's not gonna be starting up. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your patience as I shift over here from Instagram. I wanted to take a moment and just speak into a few things, reflect upon just kind of how things have been energetically for myself. And then, of course, I'm sharing in container with other beautiful, powerful beings such as Lisa, Betsy, and Yvonne. And I'm sure there's others here that I'm connected with. And the things that have been exchanged have been extremely powerful. there's a really, really, really deep recognition of the connection that we're holding to the quantum wealth currency. And I want to speak into that a little bit, and also just simply reflect upon the importance of facing into our shadow and allowing ourselves to be in acceptance of our ego and how our ego operates. And ego is not a bad thing. It's just like you all have heard me speak into archon energy, which is a spiritual parasitic energy. The way from where I exist right now, from my perception and how I'm able to experience these connections, it's much different than it was 6 months ago. It's much different than it was a year ago. I used to see things through the lenses of kind of like black and white, good versus bad, light versus dark, right versus wrong. And with the archon energy, it's no different than any other energy. It's a force. And you all have heard me speak about how it is the will of the holder, the beholder, the perception holder, which is you. Whatever you behold through your awareness is what you give will and power to. And so if you are holding in your awareness, if you are beholding a perception that is judgmental, or is viewing it through a lens that is negative, which is lesser than, positive, greater than, then you're placing a weight upon the experience. You're placing a weight upon the moment. And this tends to happen too when we come into connections with others. We view it through a lens of like, there's parts of me that either I'm going to be willing to accept and look at, or I'm not going to be willing to accept it and look at it, and I'm going to see it in other people and I'm going to judge it. It's going to breed this toxicity in me, because I'm going to look at how these people in the world are operating, and I'm going to think that I am better than them, or I'm going to think that I'm lesser than them. And because of this, the lens that I view the world through is through a lens of separation, not through unity. Something I tell my container all the time is that, you can know words of power, but it doesn't mean that you're acting from a space of responsibility where you are the embodiment of the words. The words do not hold power. The words are simply a reflection of you. Welcome, Mina. So grateful you were able to drop in. Beautiful. When I speak something, I actually was saying this to Mina in a reflection. And I said, the words do not define me. I am the power. I am the source. And the words are a reflection of my power. They are a reflection of my source. Wherever I believe I am, therefore, I will push that out. I will put that out into the universe. And over the course of the last year, I've had a deeper understanding and revelation of operating from a space of egoic wounding, where, I've been in spaces with other, creators and other spiritual communities, and I've spoken into this before, but, there's wounding that can happen in those spaces. And if we aren't willing to look and face into our shadow and recognize where we are operating from, then not only will we embody this space of toxicity and separation, and we will view through a lens of judgment, and we will carry that weight, and that can also prohibit us from stepping into higher contracts, which are actually aligned to serve through the connection of others. Our higher contracts come through the service with others. That's the intention and purpose, because everyone is a mirror. Just because you look the way you look and I look the way I look, we are not separate. We are of the same fabric. We are coming up and manifesting ourselves out of the same quantum experience. And so it is different through my will. It is different through what I perceive it to be, but that's merely a perception. The fabric of the creation, we are not different. So we can talk about unity consciousness all the time, but unity consciousness is the ability to unify within yourself, to recognize and discover within yourself all parts of you, shadow, light, darkness. It doesn't matter. You're willing to look into it. You're willing to accept it. You're willing to discover it. And there is a tendency to want to escape. And I understand this, and I understand why it happens in spiritual communities, because there's a feeling that if we don't rush and we don't start serving, then we're somehow going to miss out. We're going to miss the bus. We're not going to be able to perform whatever it is we need to perform. And so this fear of missing out, or the savior complex, drives us to step into performing from a space that's still undiscovered and unhealed. We haven't gone into the depths of our soul and discovered what this really is. What is all of this? Why is all of this happening in the way that it is? Why am I creating in the very way that I am? And why am I choosing in the way that I am choosing? Why do I feel drawn to step into a space? Or why do I feel drawn to, why am I magnetized into a certain connection? These are just as important as going into the quantum and connecting into cosmic currents. That stuff is wonderful. It is fantastic. It is all a part of our design. It is all a part of the same design. But the only way that we can understand what is happening in the quantum and in these other spaces, of these other aspects, is if we're understanding what's going on within ourselves. You cannot just because you know a lot of things, it doesn't translate. Knowing a lot doesn't, you can show up, and I've had this happen. I mean, I used to speak from that space. I mean, I can tell you all the things I know, but that doesn't translate to a space of accepted embodiment. It doesn't translate. It will still project its shadow. Thank you, beautiful. And so you can talk and know a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that your shadow is not still being projected. You can gather, and if another conversation that I want to give credit, Lisa brought this forward in a conversation about gathering in large numbers. And this is something I have spoken into before, but I am aware of it on a deeper level, that if we gather in these large numbers and we're projecting shadow, think about that for a moment. Think about what is being harvested in that moment where large numbers gather for the sake of a service, and there is an immense amount of shadow that is still being pushed out into the collective in such a large gathering. That is actually a manipulation of service. If you are not embodying shadow, you cannot serve within the light. It is impossible. You cannot even know and understand what it even means to be in service within the light if you're not facing your own shit. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you've been through trauma. Going through trauma is one thing. Rehabbing your nervous system and facing into why you make the choices you make is another. When you go through it, you're going through something you've already manifested. To understand why you manifested it, that's the next level of mastery. Why am I magnetizing this to me? Why am I drawn into this? What is it about this connection that is bringing me there? Ask the questions. Don't just jump into a space just because a lot of people are there, just because a person has a lot of attention. A lot of attention does not necessarily mean higher positive vibrational space. It does not necessarily mean that it is serving light. It can definitely still be serving shadow too. If the shadow isn't embodied, then it's being pushed out. Okay, it's actually coming out in the words that are being spoken, because the words are not what's powerful. It is the presence of the I am that is powerful. And if the I am is standing in its sovereign source authority, then it has embodied shadow. It is in love with the embodiment of shadow, because it has directly looked into the depths of the soul, and it has said, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Welcome, Jared. And its willingness to look into the shadow and say, okay, well, why am I doing this? Why am I consistently allowing this? And what am I still holding on to that I'm not allowing myself to let go of? Because it requires ego death after ego death after ego death to truly serve. Because your service isn't what you offer to another person, it's what you offer from within yourself. If you are in a space where you can hold the quantum consciousness that is the fabric of creation. You are multidimensional because you're able to move between dimensions, not just based on what you know, but by the wisdom you carry within every cell of your being. And that wisdom is you that you've looked into, you that you've discovered, you that you've put under a microscope and you've asked questions about. That's the source of power. That is the source of what you are creating. So I say this because, I myself have jumped into spaces and I've jumped into gatherings, and I've done so because I was in the shadow. I was being overshadowed. I did not feel worthy. I was operating from wounding. I felt that if I could get close to someone that was in the light, that had a lot of attention, then I could get attention and then I could help others. And I realized I did that because I was operating from unworthiness. I felt unworthy. I felt like I needed someone else's attention to be in this state of presence. Like I felt like in order for me to be able to connect to others, I needed to have the attention of that person. And it's very toxic. It's very toxic because we're not looking into why we're showing up in the first place. We're not, and I was aware of it and I wasn't facing into it, which is even more destructive, because it was like the entire time when I was invited into things and into co-facilitations, I knew it was a no, and I still said yes. I knew it wasn't where I was supposed to be, and I still said yes. And so if we don't take the time and the opportunity to face into our shadow, then we will step into the shadow of others in hopes that we can find the light, in hopes that we can be seen as being able to carry the light. And welcome, much love, much love. So grateful that you're here. So, it's important that we recognize why we do the things that we do. And I say this as we get ready to step into this activation, this offering that I am bringing forward, because there is power that comes in the presence of gathering together. And the power comes from this state of being willing to look into my own bullshit. If I say what I say right here and I'm not willing to step out of this live and I'm not willing to live what I speak, there is a rift that begins to form. And I will be consistently seeking and needing to have more people give me attention, because I'm not willing to meet myself at that rift and fortify it. I'm not willing to bring it together from a space of heart coherence. I am creating the rift because I want to talk about things that I think are important and powerful, but I'm not willing to live the deeper points of power, which is the presence of the I am that is embodied in both shadow and light. It is the embodiment of the holy flame. That commandment that steps forward that I spoke in a few lives ago. When I first spoke it, I was in communion with myself, and I was discovering within my channel, and it stepped forward. It was like it was presented before me, and then I spoke it. And I could tell at first there was a little hesitation, like, oh my gosh, am I worthy enough to say this commandment? And I was. It would not have came forward if I wasn't. So I want to invite each and every one of you into a consistent practice of being aware of where you're operating from. Why are you choosing what you're choosing? Why are you choosing to gather with those that you're gathering with? What is it? Everyone is your mirror. And if you don't give yourself permission, when we see through a lens of separation, we see others as separate. They're doing something, but that's not me, that's them. Or gosh, I wish I could do what they're doing, but I just don't feel like I can. I don't feel worthy. I just don't have this. I don't have that. It's not something that's attainable for me right now. that's a point of separation. You're separating yourself from that which you yourself have pushed out. It's you. You can only view your own projection. That's it. So if something is showing up in your reality, you have pushed it out, you have projected it. It's there for you to see. And it's not separate from you, no matter what it is, no matter how much it seems like it can't be connected to you because you've never met them, you're seeing it, it's happening somewhere else, it's on TV, it's happening in another country, it's happening with another group. So that how can that be connected to me? No, you pushed it out. You created the scenario. You have projected that reality so that you can see it, so that you can observe it, so that you can witness it. Because once you interact with what you have already projected out, it's about, okay, so how am I going to respond to this? How am I going to, am I going to react or am I going to respond? Because by the time you observe it and witness it, you've already created from within that part of yourself. You were within that design, and that design, after getting enough attention, has then manifested in the physical. Enough particles have come together, enough probabilities have landed, and it created a timeline for you to observe where all other timelines collapsed. So when you are aligned to that point, it's because you have given it so much attention. At some point, you cannot observe it unless it is yours. So what are you receiving in return? And how are you receiving? That is what is very important, because what comes forward in these activations is still also an observation. So when you give yourself permission to go into this space, you are in the space that goes, of course, beyond just the body. You're surrendering your body so that you can sense beyond the scene. And what is beyond the scene, of course, is unseen. So if images come forward, it's we celebrate that. We celebrate those that have visions and that can see. I will say that you may start to notice that your eyes, as I'm sure you guys have heard me speak about before, your eyes can become gateways, which when the projector is surrendered, when your mind is surrendered, when your mind can step forward in harmony with your heart, then you have an opportunity to extend your senses beyond the projection, beyond the known reality. And whatever is beyond the known reality is also yours. It might be unknown to you, but it is still yours to access. So what's stepping forward today is activations within the 6th dimension DNA. And the reason why I speak into everything I speak into prior is because it's all correlated. It's all designed. It's all a part of the same points of creation. Accessing higher dimensionality on a DNA level is directly correlated with being able to go into the depths of who you are and discover yourself. The deeper you go into yourself, the higher you go in consciousness and awareness, the more that you can sense, the more that you can go beyond and within. So as we unlock these dimensional access points, we're unlocking wavelengths of wisdom. This is information that's carried through the quantum. The way that I am receiving it in connection with today's activation is it's been highly correlated to wealth and the wealth stream. Yes, parallel dimensions, absolutely. We all exist in some version of us that we're reaching for right now. Okay. The important thing to remember is that the way that we experience this activation is that you want to allow yourself to remember that you can pull from that version of you that already exists in a parallel reality. If you sense beyond what is known, what you see, okay, there's going to be parts that are already existing that you can't even imagine. Okay, so And sometimes too, when we go into imagining something, we get so attached to the concept and the idea that we don't give ourselves permission to go beyond that. We stay stuck in what we think it is instead of what it actually is. So in this space, as we go into the receiving, we're unlocking within the DNA a 6-dimensional access point of currency, of wealth. Okay. Now, the way that I'm receiving the DNA is that there is a masculine and a feminine, and there is a gateway in the middle. And in that gateway is a source stream. And by receiving and accessing that source stream, it can unlock the masculine and feminine in their interdimensional, outer dimensional, and higher dimensional counterparts, which is you. So give yourself permission to surrender all of you. Give yourself permission to surrender what you think it should be. Give yourself permission to surrender any expectations as we prepare to step into this point of receiving. I will also guide us into clearing some things on a cellular level. And I would go ahead and invite each of you, because I'm already feeling myself being pulled there. I would go ahead and invite you to allow yourself to begin settling a little bit deeper into your body, to go ahead and close your eyes. And to give yourself permission to sense beyond the body. Now, what I mean by that is that right now your nervous system and your physical body is being projected from a very specific space. I'm going to invite you to pull yourself kind of out of that and then allow yourself to come back in. So remember that you are an awareness. And every bit of this is within your awareness, including your body. Everything that you see out there is within your awareness. Everything that you see in the night sky, it is within you just as much as you are within it. So you are extremely expansive. You are not just this physical body. This is a physical body that you have designed and created, but you are so much more than that. So begin settling yourself in first into the body, just to bring yourself out of the thoughts and out of the ideas. Bring yourself into the body. That'll be first. And as you drop in, give yourself permission to be fully present as this awareness, this space that senses. And it is everywhere. It is not just in your seen reality. It is in all dimensional planes. It is all parallel to you right now. It is also within you right now. You are existing in every particle of everything that you are connecting to, and even that which you are not connected to, or at least perceiving that you're not connected to. Giving yourself permission to surrender what you know. And I would invite in, if you would please just repeat the words: I accept, I receive, I accept, I allow, and allow that to be your permission slip to experience something grander, greater than your known reality. Okay, calling everyone into heart coherence, aligning and harmonizing. Aligning and harmonizing. Okay. Opening, activating Earth Star, opening, activating Soul Star. Opening, activating Sun Star. Opening, activating Cosmic Star. Opening, activating Universal Star. And just taking a moment here to allow yourself to acclimate, if necessary, to the opening of the stars. Opening, activating thyroid. Opening, activating thymus. Opening, activating pineal. I'm also going to bring in another gateway that came through very powerfully. We had a really, really powerful, deeper revelation of this into the group space that I host with many beautiful souls that are already here. But we had a deeper revelation of a navel gateway. So I want to open and activate that navel gateway. Opening, activating root, expanding. Opening, activating sacral, expanding. Opening, activating solar plexus, expanding. Opening, activating heart, expanding. Opening, activating throat, expanding. Opening, activating third eye, expanding. Opening, activating crown, expanding. Opening, 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 opening. Opening, 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 expanding. Allowing in the light. And we now command the holy flame to enter, giving yourself permission to accept and acknowledge that through this process you are embodying the highest versions of yourself. You are embodying the holy flame. You are embodying higher cosmic design. And calling forward the connection with the order of Melchizedek. Allowing in the higher angelic orders, also the order of Alcyon, receiving the connection. Opening the nervous system, opening, and expanding, opening, and expanding the gateways. And requesting order of Melchizedek and the order of Alcyon to anchor in through the nervous system gateway. Harmonizing, balancing, actively purifying the nervous system, allowing in all of the highest and greatest connections that are aligned for your highest and greatest. And opening, clearing, clear a little bit in the root here. Opening, clearing, opening and clearing the root, opening, clearing, and harmonizing the root connection. Calling forward a golden stream from within the quantum to purify and enhance the root. Coming into the sacral. Expanding and purifying. You may feel some sensations in there. It may get warm, tingly. Yes, clearing, opening. Yeah, it's really burning. Yes, harmonizing. We want to make sure we have as pure of an opening to receive as possible. Kiatush, yamataku, isiata. Okay, hearing Neptune is stepping forward. Ariasute ush amba erma diasiato shiakute isidi mate uri asute u ashiata madiasate. Neptune is assisting in the vibrational currency, connecting into the crown, the third eye, opening up the heart space. This energy working as a messenger, if you will. Openly, actively receiving the wisdom of Neptune. Allowing in the currents, allowing in the light. Yasutoshia unima de siakute. Whew. I tell you what, that navel is really starting to vibrate. Okay, as we anchor in the connection to Neptune, I'm also, Pluto's been very present. I can feel Pluto stepping forward as we connect into the stream, anchoring into the well stream, unlocking 6-dimensional access codes. Kia sutu ya Maria Sate, Uria anda esiki marara. You may feel yourself being lifted. Please allow that. If you feel yourself moving or you feel yourself being lifted, please allow that. Isiakudiasate madushi andake siakote makote 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 isia da a da a da a. Okay, enhancing the connection to Neptune and Pluto. Aligning and harmonizing. Aligning all energy bodies to the connection. Aligning. And forward into the awareness. Opening, 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 and unlocking. Unlocking masculine, unlocking feminine. Connecting into the central gateway. Connecting, connecting. Okay, I'm going to speak a few commandments here, and I'm just going to invite you to follow and speak along. You don't have to speak these, but I would definitely invite them for a greater sense of the connection to verbalize the commandment. I now command 6-dimensional wealth to unlock within my DNA. I now command 6-dimensional currency through every cell and every reality. I now command infinite streams of light to flow through every cell of my body. I am now embodying six-dimensional wisdom and currency. Okay, through the commandment and the access point, unlock the DNA. Opening, 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 opening. Connecting into the stream of wisdom. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, bringing the stream in, bringing it in, bringing it in, bringing it in. Anchoring. Anchoring. Whew. Man, feels like it's on fire. Anchoring, 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 anchoring. Anchoring into the nervous system. Connecting into the infinite source stream within the central gateway of the DNA. Now within the stream, you're going to take a moment here and allow it to imprint within the aura, imprinting the aura with the data stream, imprinting with the six-dimensional wisdom stream, which is a part of the wealth stream, imprinting. Imprinting into the design. I can even feel my hips wanting to be pushed open. That's very interesting. And calling in any reparations for the aura that are necessary so that the stream may imprint. Oh yeah, I felt that. Whew. There's definitely some collective leakage happening around that root, and big time. Big time, big time. and repairing the leaks, imprinting with the golden stream and the golden currency, requesting Neptune and Pluto to step forward and to imprint and assist in harmonizing the aura. Thank you. Well, I can feel it really powerfully, really intently in my temples as well. That's very interesting. Feels like a gateway there. Coming in, connecting into the pituitary and pineal. Imprinting. And receiving. Aligning. Oh wow, wow, that was amazing. I mean, it's still amazing, but it's literally like I can hear things. Wow, like it's like I can hear things in a new. Um, Definitely clearing some things, opening and expanding. Our range of sensing and how we vibrationally receive that, which we say it's what we hear, but what's we're actually sensing vibrationally. And receiving and anchoring, anchoring, anchoring. Yeah, that's working through the cranial nerves pretty powerfully. I can feel it in my neck. Opening. There we go. Release, 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 release. Open, 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 and release. Expanding and anchoring. There we go. Expanding and anchoring. This is a really powerful stream. Just allowing it and giving it the respect to fully integrate Mm. Really powerful stream. Felt Neptune. Thank you, Neptune. Um, felt Neptune's imprint there. Okay. And anchoring into the nervous system, anchoring. This is an active 6-dimensional stream of currency. It is now actively working, now actively anchored into and through the aura, imprinted, the design, the wisdom that is carried through the 6-dimensional currency. And of course, we think of currency as money, but it's currency being a vibration. And receiving this golden stream, my goodness, my ears keep opening. It's like things keep popping. Very, very powerful integration through the brain. Is definitely feeding into the temporal lobe, definitely in the prefrontal. It's definitely feeding in through those gateways of the temples. Anchor, and anchoring into the root, anchoring into the root. Anchoring within the commandments. Anchoring. Connecting into the orders to harmonize, balance, and finalize all that has been received. Requesting from the Order of Alzion and the Order of Melchizedek to simply vibrationally assist in the harmonization of all that was received. Harmonizing the nervous system, harmonizing the brain, harmonizing all energy bodies. Harmonizing the cells, harmonizing the blood, harmonizing the body. Harmonizing through all meridians and all chakras. Anchoring. Okay. All right, all is complete and received. Thank you to the orders. Thank you. All is complete. It is done. So now giving yourself permission to begin decompressing and opening your eyes. A little bit at a time here, actually. Landing, bringing it in, decompressing, Okay. Decompressing, coming in, coming in, coming in. Okay. Okay, my loves, everything has been received. Um, very, very large stream. There's a major integration point that and a major access point that was unlocked. I felt through the DNA. And really all that the unlocking, it comes from our awareness, right? Where we are going into that space of discovery, and by design, if we observe it, it's happening. So we are observing it, and that observation allows it to open and allows us to actively participate and co-create. Still landing, still coming in. So definitely a very powerful stream. And the major points that I feel this coming in through was that navel gateway, the pineal. I mean, really all of them. But I felt it extremely powerfully around that heart gateway. And then literally coming in through my left temple, I felt the connection. I felt it pull. It was a major, extremely powerful magnetic connection. And it just simply pulled this, and it's us, it's our stream. It's connected to our us and our, and of course the source. It's a source stream that is connected directly to the sixth dimension. And it came in very powerfully connected into that temple and guided and aligned to the source of the receiving point. And then that wave just came in extremely powerfully and is still landing and integrating. Yes, still being received. Thank you, Mina. Thank you. Thank you. I thank you, everyone, for receiving this. Thank you for receiving everything that came through at the beginning. Thank you for giving yourself permission to tune in and receive. The nervous system is going to be receiving this. It's still coming in. It's still integrating your nervous system. Thank you, Yvonne. Your nervous system are gateways. Those gateways are receiving in the unseen streams of data. So maintain your focal point on a space that is intentional and purposeful. It is willful, so that your nervous system can be an open vessel and vehicle for receiving the information of the stream. As am I, my dear, as am I. Allowing this information in the stream of wisdom, which is your wisdom, it is your design, and it is integrating by your will, by your acceptance. You are commanding it through your will, and you are integrating it through your will. So allowing you to, inviting always intention and purpose through the will and the willpower to allow it to come in. So thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for receiving. So grateful to share in this with each of you. And again, I thank you for hanging in there and joining me in the receiving of this. It was truly beautiful. And I definitely look forward to seeing you guys in the next moment that we have an opportunity to co-create and come together. I do feel a few closing points I would like to bring forward. The nervous system is carrying, your nervous system is a multidimensional, multiversal sensory connecting point, everything that you are aware of in terms of feeling, it's happening through your nervous system. Okay. So if you feel yourself going off into an idea or a thought, bring yourself back into the body, into the presence of how you feel, so that you can anchor yourself more deeply, giving yourself permission to be in the space of receiving, and then being focused and intentional on what you're receiving. What is coming through is a massive sets of imprints. Still receiving, so bear with me. Imprints carrying the design of wealth, the currency of abundance, and this information stream, while within it, I'm 1 second aligning there. Whew, it's intense. Intentionally feeding into that design. I am the source of my wealth. I am the source of my power. I am now embodying infinite streams of wealth. I am now embodying infinite streams of health, because that's a part of the wealth abundance. The health is there. That's all a part of it. Intentional, purposeful, speak with the power of this stream, for you exist within it. Giving yourself permission to inlay into your nervous system the truth of the power that is you existing within it. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Is it Ganesh? Ganesh? Thank you so much for receiving. I am so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next gathering. So until then, allow this to integrate, allow yourself to integrate within it, being intentional and purposeful with your will, and facing always into the space of your shadow and your light, so that you can embody it all. Okay? Love you all. Till next time. Adonai.